My name is Steve Reuter from the Center for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities at the UC Davis Mind Institute. We're doing the final talk is about retention, key to business success. And we're going to start off with talking about what are the costs of when we lose an employee? What are the direct costs that businesses incur? And obviously, there's huge costs regarding separation. Just the issue of all the potential issues that happen in that separation process. There's additional cost that you need to find coverage for the duties while you're waiting for the next staff to come in. There's the replacement cost, the whole cost of interviewing, the whole cost of going through that entire process. Background verification, employment testing, there's a whole litany of costs within that. And then, of course, there's the training cost, the cost of spending, of dedicating a seasoned employee to do that training cost. Does anyone have a sense of, excluding management, for a typical line staff, does anyone know when you base it on the annual salary of that employee, what percentage that costs for the direct cost? It averages, go.
I think in our agency, it takes several months to recapture the cost.
Right. So it's the stats that I have seen is between 20 to 25% of the person's annual salary is what it costs to replace that employee, and that's just in your direct in your actual direct cost of doing it. There's a whole variety of indirect costs as well. The fact that you've got reduced productivity during the time that employee is gone, as well as when the person is being trained. You've got the cost of burdening other staff. And I can't tell you, when I've seen businesses going through this process, the fact that someone else is having to take on that additional training in addition to their usual roles. The lack of efficiency and increased mistakes that are made as a person is becoming proficient in that task. And then finally, the issue of reduced morale. And one of the things that I have seen repeatedly is when you do lose a member of your team, the number of relationships that are broken, and just that issue of someone having left your agency, the morale cost of that is something that I don't think we pay enough attention to. This is from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics as of July 2016. And according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the rate that people have quit their jobs is now back to the pre-recession level, which is the area marked in gray within the chart here. In May 2016, 2.9 million people quit their job. And the current ratio of unemployed people per job opening is 1.4, which again, prior to the recession, it was 1.9. So we're actually just slightly below the number of available employees per position at this point. When you match that with here we go. When the recession began in 2008, the number of unemployed people per job opening was 1.9. And in 2009, the number of unemployed people per job opening peaked at 6.6. At that time, it was very, very easy to find replacement staff. The ratio today, as of May 2016, is 1.4 available people per job opening. So one of the things that I did was I wanted to layer these two graphs together. And there's a couple of things that happen when you see the graph. Again, today we are back at pre-recession levels. So we've reached that state of equilibrium. The one thing that's, of course, obvious about this chart is that in the past 6 years, there has been tremendous number of people who have left their jobs and a tremendous cost to businesses to replace those staff. So there has been a very high period of turnover that's happened in the past 6 years. The other thing is, of course, as I said earlier, we are at a state right now to where it is much harder to find qualified applicants for the jobs that you're doing. So retention is clearly at a key moment for us right now. National data. We're going to start with the national data. So Marriott Hotels, when they did an analysis, their turnover rate of employees with disabilities was 6% as compared to 52% of their overall workforce. There's an enormous difference between those two groups. Washington Mutual found an 8% turnover among their employees with disabilities as compared to 45% in the general population. Pizza Hut has a 20% turnover among their employees with disabilities as compared to 150% of employees without disabilities. And I have the source here, and I can make this information available to anyone afterwards. I wanted to take a look at the agencies that are in this room, the supported employment agencies that are part of the Business Advisory Council who can assist businesses in our area. And Southside Art Center is the first business I have, and we don't have a representative here with them tonight. They are new to supported employment. The workers that are listed on this graph are all working in their recycling center, and 16 of the 20 people that are listed on this graph have worked 2 or more years at the recycling center, and 5 of the 20 have worked 5 or more years. Progressive employment concepts. We have Kelly over here. It's another one of our supported employment agencies that has partnered with us at the Business Advisory Council, and they have supported people in the jobs for between 5 and 19 years within this graph. 10 of the 19 people have worked for 10 or more years with the same company. 7 of the 19 have worked for 15 or more years within these companies. United Artists has had one of the employees that has been supported by Progressive Employment Concepts have been an usher there for 18 years. Century Theater has had an usher that's been supported by Progressive Employment for 19 years. One of their workers has been working as a prep cook at Chili's for 19 years. And 2 of the people that they support have been employed by Target for 11 and 16 years. Those are amazing numbers. When you look at those sectors, and as Tammy was saying, more than likely, most of those people are the most seasoned people at those agencies. And I would be amiss if I didn't point out that my friend and colleague at the Mine Institute, Robert Levy, has been supported by Progressive Employment Concept for 5 years at UC Davis. In Alliance is another one of the agencies that is here today. And do we, our In Alliance staff? Mike and Alonzo. They have supported people who have stayed in their jobs from between 8 to 27 years. 14 of the 25 people that are on this graph have worked at the same company for 15 years or longer. 5 of the 25 have worked for 20 years or more. Okay. SaveMart has had an employee that has been supported by an alliance who's worked as a courtesy clerk, actually 2 people, one for 14 years and another for 27 years. Sacramento Bee, do we have Sacramento Bee in the room? We do not. But they have 3 packagers who have worked from 13 to 16 years. UC Davis, the Medical Center, has had a dishwasher who has been in that job for 19 years and a hospital assistant who's been there for 24 years. Again, you look at the quality of these numbers and it is stunning. Thank you. When you ask these employers, they would say that these people are incredibly competent, that they are loyal, and that they, as Tammy said, they are oftentimes the face of that business. So, how can the Business Advisory Council help your business? So the first thing I'd recommend is if you do not have a partnership with the Business Advisory Council as a business, that you can contact us and we will assist, we will facilitate you connecting with one of the supported employment agencies that is one of our team, and we will assist with finding and bringing to you qualified applicants that you can interview. In addition to that, at no cost, they will assist with the training and the support, long-term support that can assist with any types of additional kinds of things that may be required. And finally, as Vernon was talking about, we can discuss and help to implement strategies to expand your diversity and inclusion within your business. So those are the ways that the Business Advisory Council can assist you directly.